Good.
Great. It's been a while.
All right. Mhm.
Let's see. I guess I'll do it. That we actually. Well, first off, welcome back, everybody. Like I said, it's been a few months, but glad to be here. But anyway, Batman Forever. This does and doesn't follow the events of Batman Returns. Like, I guess we'll get into that a little bit later. But um Batman meets a psychiatrist named Dr. Chase Meridian. She kind of helps consult with him while he's dealing with the threat Two Face, formerly District Attorney Harvey Dent, and a young, enigmatic man who used to work for Bruce Wayne, Edward Nigma, develops a device that enables him to hack into the minds of other people while through their TV, and he becomes smarter and he leaves clues for or riddles for Bruce Wayne, now dubbing himself as the Riddler. Batman also attends a circus where Dick Grayson, the Flying Graysons, his parents and his family was murdered. Bruce Wayne takes him in, eventually becomes his partner known as Robin, and they work together to bring down the Riddler and Two Face.
Yes. So I want to jump in here.
Okay.
Peter David really attempts to let you know this is Batman 3. This is a continuation of Burton's Batman universe. And which is kind of interesting because we're now getting the John Jackson Miller book Batman Revolution,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is just going to be the ideas that Burton had for Batman Forever,
Yeah.
because infamously, Batman Returns was so bad for marketing that Warner Brothers told Tim Burton he could direct anything as long as it wasn't another Batman movie, because McDonald's was really mad that the Penguin spat up bile in Batman Returns. But Peter David really tries to make this work as a continuation of what was set up in Batman Returns. The first half, I think, does that. The second half is the Joel Schumacher film, and it's kind of like Whiplash. It's about that
Yeah.
halfway point.
Yeah.
There's even a reference to a Batman villain that hasn't even been, existing yet. They make a reference to Poison Ivy.
Well, let's break it down further than that, because like the first like 5 chapters aren't even the film.
Yeah.
It takes the Matthew Stover Revenge of the Sith approach.
Yeah.
It just says, hey, look, we got to establish a whole bunch of stuff because it's been a while. How many years was it between Batman Returns and Batman Forever?
I want to say like 2 or 3.
Yeah, it was a while because we had Burton's films were within a year of each other, if I'm not mistaken. and then they had kind of the debacle. Burton's Batman Forever would have had Robin Williams as the Riddler.
Yeah.
We bring back Billy D. Williams as to play Two-Face.
They and Marlon Wayans was supposed to be Robin.
Yeah, and so this book attempts to kind of do some of that stuff. It attempts to fill in the gaps that we have between these two films. So our first chapter is Bruce Wayne immediately at the funeral of his parents when he falls down the well or what have you. He falls in the hole in the ground and there's the bats, which we hadn't really seen anything of that other than it actually references the first one with do you dance with have you danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Yeah.
The Joker, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I always say Joe Chill, but because that's the origins of Batman. That's who actually killed his parents, but that's changed for Burton's universe. So we have that. Then the next chapter is Edward Nygma in middle school and the beginning of his infatuation with Bruce Wayne. Then we cut to years later, Harvey Dent and Batman meeting to, which is kind of like a Long Halloween reference,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of wild. Kind of makes that quasi canon or just a reference to that. Great comic to reference. Then we get an early Dick Grayson rescues Chase Meridian's purse from a would-be robber.
Yeah.
And then the movie starts. We actually get to the beginning with Two-Face, but we get I think one of the big things I like is that early on Two-Face actually kind of acts like Two-Face is supposed to. Doesn't act
Yeah.
like Joker.
Mm-hmm.
That stops after a while. He gets into the goofiness that is the Joel Schumacher film, but he actually kind of acts like Two-Face is supposed to.
Yeah, I noticed that in the first part of the book when he's first introduced to. Like, I was like, this actually feels more like Two-Face.
We
And
we also
then,
a better origin for Two-Face and his burning instead of terrible video footage like in the film.
Yeah, that was awful.
It's not as bad, I will say it's not as bad as in Batman and Robin when we get the same type of video footage of Freeze getting
oh yeah,
liquid nitrogen whatever's dumped on him because it's just goofier seeing that with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
yeah, coming out, go. "La, la, la."
But we also get a reference to Batman the Animated Series. If you remember
Mhm.
the episode where Harvey Dent ends up going out on a date, and it turns out his date's Poison Ivy.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I was mostly going with. Like, this is kind of canon to the first two Burton films, and it's not because this shows Poison Ivy, like, but she doesn't like exist as Poison Ivy yet until like Batman and Robin.
Yeah, it makes me wonder how that novelization. I bet you that novelization. I'd be shocked if they cared enough to like tie it into the other stuff. But there's numerous references to Batman Returns in this book.
Yeah,
Other than, I mean, there's one reference in the film with Chase Meridian saying that he likes Bruce Wayne likes reporters and cat burglars or something like that.
oh, strong women. Do I need skin type vinyl and a whip or something?
Yeah, that's
The most erotic of the Batman movies.
Yeah, for me, I think I enjoyed the. I mean, of course, they're pretty similar, except for the additions in the beginning of the book. I don't know which one I prefer more because I don't really care for this Batman story. Period. I think it kind of sucks. Um, we watched the movie one night. Me and my wife were like, oh, I gotta watch Batman. I gotta prepare for this novelization that I've got to read, and we started it pretty late, and turned out to be like a 2 hour movie.
Mhm.
I thought it was going to be like a 90-minute short, oh yeah, it's done, but it just kept going and going, and I was like,
It
man, this is
should be a 90-minute movie.
yeah, and it kept going, and it was just so dull. I didn't care for it, and then
It's
when I
kind
read the novelization, I was surprised by all the additions. I was like, okay, this is nice, getting some real backstory on some of these characters. They don't just pop up and you're just like, what is going on? Um, and I liked some of the minor changes that were made too in the book, but overall, I don't care for this. I like Batman, just the original '89 film. It could have stopped there. I would have been happy.
I there are this story has good bones. And those bones were what Tim Burton was going to do. I like the novelization. I don't like this film. I will agree with you. I think that Val Kilmer is a good haunted Bruce Wayne. He pulls that off really well. I never liked him as Batman though, because it's really weird coming off of Michael Keaton was like the person no one thought Mr. Mom could be Batman, right? That was like what weird casting, and he pulls it off. So you think, oh, if he can pull it off, Val Kilmer can. But for some reason, he's just kind of he's not the worst Batman, but he's just kind of a nothing burger of a
It's
Batman.
kind of flat, right?
And I think the point is to not overshadow Robin. Um, which I think the casting for Robin's terrible.
Oh,
Uh,
Chris O'Donnell.
yeah, I was never a fan. I know he's like one of the only people that came back for Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
He just doesn't look because Dick Grayson's supposed to be a teenager. I know Chris O'Donnell doesn't look like a teenager, and he doesn't. He kind of acts like a weirdo.
What's funny is he's probably like 24 or something when
Yeah,
they filmed it.
he's like
For some
22 when it came out. Batman.
Yeah, and I know I probably look way older than he does now, but I still feel when I'm watching, I feel like, man, he looks older than me. How is he teenage? I don't know. Maybe it's just like the internal thoughts, when you see it as a kid, like you're always the kid. I don't
Yeah,
know.
well, it's worse in Batman and Robin.
Mm.
Especially the way he's acting in Batman and Robin. I mean that movie's so bad. I mean, he's not even acting like Dick Grayson. He's acting like Jason Todd. If we want, if we want to pull straws, Jason Todd was the one that was always well. I mean, until Damian Wayne was the pain to deal with, just the brat Robin. But I think this book, this is probably my favorite of the Peter David novelizations we've read because
Mhm.
it knows not to stay too long. That was the problem I had, especially with Spider-Man 2, but also when we did Spider-Man. It's just about 50 pages too long. Where this, it feels like the right amount of pages, and he really tried. And it,
Yeah,
it was weird. I never associate Peter David with DC. I think he has written DC, but I always associate him with Hulk because he's written the only like solid, consistent, incredible Hulk run ever, other than Planet Hulk. But I mean, like he did the whole Maestro thing and built up to it.
Mhm.
I don't know. I like Peter David's Hulk stuff, but this was surprisingly good.
Yeah, it was. I enjoyed it, and I liked that we actually got more of Robin in this, like, because in the movie, I mean, I don't know, he was mostly just there until he actually became Robin. Like, it's like what I also appreciated, and I might be jumping ahead a little bit, is as most of you guys know, like who have seen the movie, Bruce Wayne like briefly retires from being Batman, but he had a better reason, I think, in the novelization. It was explained that he did that to try to protect Dick Grayson from kind of following in his footsteps.
Yeah,
And in the movie, it was just because he, I guess, wanted a life with Chase Meridian, and um, but I kind of like that change in the novelization.
Yeah, I also another fun detail. They explain why the Batmobile looks different.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
From
I mean,
when the
with like the little fin they add on the back and stuff. Which did you guys ever have the Batman Forever toys?
I want to say yes, maybe.
I don't recall.
So
I think my neighbor did.
the you know that they like for well I'm gonna get into the weeds here, but I think it's funny because it's Batman. It has to do with Batman Forever. So the Batcave, they didn't have a Batcave for the original Batman film. Like Kenner didn't get one out in time. So when Batman Returns came out, they came out with a Bat Cave, and it was a Bat Cave, and you open it up, and on the other side of it, it was supposed to be Penguin's hideout, although it's clearly Access Chemicals from the first one. Like it looks like that. Well, they never changed that Bat Cave other than slapping paint jobs on it for like 15 years. They just kept releasing the same playset. Um, but they did one for Batman Forever, but the Batmobile for that does not fit in the garage in the Batcave. You can't fit it in. So they made an additional Batcave for Batman Forever, which is just like a bridge to nowhere terrible playset. That's like it has a zip line, and that's like its only play feature. But I always associate Batman Forever with the toys because I kind of remember like when I was like really small seeing them on clearance. I remember Batman and Robin's toys pretty well. But I remember kind of some of the Batman Forever stuff being clearance. And I always thought it was funny in Batman Forever how flappy the Batmobile's like like I don't even know what it is. It's like a floppy thing on the back of the Batmobile.
Oh yeah,
The
that like
fin.
that shark fin kind of thing.
Why is it there?
The bat fin. See, there was a line. I can't remember if this line was in the book, but like my favorite line from the film, Alfred's like, "Let me make you something to eat," and he's like, "I'll get takeout." Yeah, I could just see him going through a drive-through in the Batmobile.
Yeah. He probably takes out that with that fin. He probably takes out the roof or something like that, or the.
Can we talk about how Robin steals the Batmobile, which is like the best part of the book
Yeah.
film? And he wears the cape and he's like trying to hide like Dracula from the thugs. It's incredible. It's exact. It makes more sense if Dick Grayson is like a young teenager to think that way.
Yeah.
Which he just see he's kid in this. Like he 100 in the book, he just seems like how Dick Grayson's supposed to be in the comics.
Yeah, it's like when you see him in the film, you can kind of tell like this guy's like probably old enough to like drink or something like that, and then uh, he's like more college age. But in this one, he's like high school age, which
Mhm.
is the probably the. I know that like the age of like Dick Grayson when he became Robin in the comics like changes. Like there's somewhere he's like 13 and but this one I think he was like close to like what 17 or 18 years old or something.
In this book, he feels like a 15-year-old.
Yeah,
They never explicitly say it, his age, but he clearly is from the moment he fights the would-be purse burglar. You know he's like a kid.
Well, yeah, he shows up, he steals the Batmobile, and he just goes to where like the hookers are.
Oh yeah, and he rescues a girl from the goofy gang, and then Batman has to go and rescue him.
Yeah.
there was like a lot of like you know as far as like novelizations go, it's pretty consistent with the fact that like some dialogue has changed. But what I noticed is that there were certain scenes that happened in the film that happened at like a different time. Like um, one for example is that whole I think that whole scene with Edward Nigma like trying to impress Bruce Wayne with his invention. That happened, and then he sees the bat signal, and then we get into the scene with Two-Face at the bank, and I was like, that happened actually at the beginning of the film, and the Enigma thing happened later.
Mhm.
And then Bruce Wayne has like a flashback, or is dealing with his memories of his parents' death, and then he sees the bat signal. He tells Alfred, take care of Dick Grayson or whatever, and then in that scene he goes to fight Two-Face on the road, but it's actually leading into where Chase Marine tries to seduce Batman on the top of police headquarters.
It's such a dumb scene.
I didn't like her as a character.
I don't mind her. I just don't like that scene in particular. Also, it leads to, in the movie, when she finally is like, I'm into Bruce Wayne, not Batman. And Val Kilmer has this weird little grin in the bat suit.
And he's like,
it's weird. This always stuck out to me. It just, Batman shouldn't smile ever.
No. I kind of wish we had at the party scene when the Riddler becomes rich. I kind of there's that scene where Batman crashes through the top. When we hear this one guy, random guy, who's like, "It's Batman!" Ah! I was like, I wish that they actually had that in the book.
They have some goofy hijinks with him fighting people, though, in the book. And he's like, I wonder if I threw that guy to his death. There was a dude down an elevator shaft.
Oh, while I'm thinking about it, this book actually also, for the first time in the Burton Schumacher canon, introduced a particular Batman character who's mostly seen. He was seen in the show Gotham and in the animated series, but it brings in Bullock.
Yes, it does. It also brings in Lucius Fox.
Yeah, like he's briefly, but yeah, Lucius Fox is there and Detective Bullock, and I was like, oh, nice. But I was like, I wish we kind of got more of them in the movie, but to be fair, in these movies, Batman barely has a relationship with Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah, that is a weird thing. And especially, I keep going back to Batman and Robin. Do you remember his Commissioner Gordon's one appearance? He's in a standard police uniform.
Mm-hmm.
He's not even dressed as the commissioner. Cop. Because Joel Schumacher didn't care anymore. Of course, he referred to the. Have you ever heard the interviews of Joel Schumacher and how he refers to comic book movies as just comic books?
I haven't seen that one, no.
He just refers. Used to now R.I.P. Joel Schumacher. He died last year?
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah.
Joel Schumacher, his made some of the best films ever, best looking films ever, like Lost Boys, Flatliners, but he'll forever be known as the man that directed Batman and Robin.
Oh, he died in 2020.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was closer than that too, or later than that. My bad.
Yeah, he's dead. The guy who played Alfred's been dead for 20 years now. He looked dead in Batman Forever.
The character almost died in Batman and Robin.
Oh yeah, he uploads his consciousness into a computer
and he's somehow Batgirl's uncle.
Yeah, I don't even know who that character, the character's name is. That's supposed to be Stephanie Brown. Is it?
No, it was Barbara. It was Barbara something.
Oh, they do call her.
Yeah.
It's not Barbara Gordon.
No. Barbara Pennyworth or something. I don't know.
There was the actress that surprised me. I kept looking. I'm like, she looks so familiar. Who is that? Who is that? It was Drew Barrymore.
Oh yeah,
that was the surprise.
The classic.
This was
actors of and Spies.
Yeah, I mean, this was before Scream, which was her. I thought it was her comeback.
Yeah, this is one of those weird ones because she got in trouble or something like that. I can't remember what the deal was with that, but she
Hmm.
disappeared for a long time. I was actually just talking to Quality Autism. We were talking about one of her early films, Cat's Eye, the Stephen King film where a cat fights a goblin.
Hmm.
It's actually better than you think it is.
Okay.
So there was one other thing that caught my eye. It was the finale, the ending battle is like it's pretty different. But what I thought was like a pretty unique touch was Robin goes into this full monologue, like lecturing Two Face and everything. Like when he has them at gunpoint, he's about to shoot them and everything, and Robin's just like, "Why don't you just, be you for once? Not, base your decisions off the coin and everything."
Yeah.
and and then eventually Batman just throws a batarang at his while he's flipping the coin midair.
Yeah.
But they did do something that I actually appreciated. Uh, they don't ever. I don't remember them in the movie. They do. Two Face calls his coin heads or tails, which it's not. It's a double headed coin, and he said he never says tails. He's like, therefore, heads we do this, or bad side, or we'll kill you, or something.
Good side, bad
Good.
side,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it is a coin that has just it's printed wrong. It's was it the Lady of Gotham? Both sides, which is just the Statue of Liberty that says
Yeah.
Gotham on it.
Yeah.
It's the dumbest thing.
It is.
It's like how to show that your movie is filmed and not in New York, but not say New York.
It's one of the dumbest things from those two movies.
It's
I mean,
like,
it's not as bad as the Bat credit card, but I mean, nothing's that bad.
what about the bat nipples?
Well, some people probably like the Bat nipples. One of
Yeah.
them is in this podcast. I won't say who. It's Matthew.
So, which villain do you guys think was more over the top?
Well, Riddler in both versions, but it's more like in the movie Riddler. No, I'm sorry. In the movie, Two Face was way over the top because he's not even Two Face isn't even supposed to be acting like that. It's more expected from the Riddler, but
Well, yeah, like the Joker, like half the time.
but in the book, Riddler was probably more over the top.
Yeah, Riddler is the big bad in this. He's the brains because Two Face is unpredictable, and he's the one with the maniacal plan. Two Face is just leaving things up to fate, basically.
Mhm.
He does something or not. I will say the more consistent villain is Riddler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two-Face is written one way and then written a different way halfway through the. You know what it is? It's right when Riddler and Two-Face meet, it becomes Two-Face from the film. That's when the nonsense happens, and that is the worst chapter of the whole book.
Yeah.
Is their meeting because you have the whiplash. Because Two-Face there's been a couple goofy things here or there, but for the most part, he's been pretty sinister, and as in characters he's going to get for something like this. But that is just goofy, and then you have Sugar and Spice, which they have more dialogue in the book, which they shouldn't. They're literally two bimbo-esque characters that are there just to be eye candy, and so that Drew Barrymore's character can tell Bruce Wayne that she can call him whatever she wants, and she'll try to have weird mind meld sex.
Well, my thing on that was it's kind of with them, it's kind of like unresolved because like at the end of both the film and the book, they know who Batman is, but then like in the movie, in the book they explain what's happened to him. Like, how do they not like reveal his identity or something like that?
Yeah, seriously. It's like it's a whole. Oh, you know what it reminds me of a little bit? Daredevil Born Again.
Oh yeah,
Karen Page hooked on. For those of you who don't know, aka Matthew, Karen Page is Matt Murdock's girlfriend for a long time, and then she moved to LA and she got hooked on drugs, ends up doing a bunch of horrible things, and she's desperate to get a fix, and so she sells out Matt Murdock's secret identity as Daredevil to essentially the Kingpin. It travels through a few people, but it ends up the Kingpin finds out and just slowly like ruins Matt Murdock's life. You know?
yeah.
It just reminds me of that, like, because I mean, the difference is Matt Murdock is a poor attorney in Hell's Kitchen, and Bruce Wayne could probably throw some money at the problem.
Yeah, that's true too. Be like, here's $1 billion. Don't tell anybody who I am.
We'll set you both up somewhere, have your own island.
We got a Small Time Republic joining us. He says He says Tommy Lee Jones didn't care for Jim Carrey while shooting the film. Yeah, I do remember reading that. Like I can't remember the reason why. It's because it was something to do with I think Jim Carrey's films were like more successful than Tommy Lee Jones's films were doing, and I think he just like I'll have to double check. It's something along those lines, but
they had
I thought he said something like he's like you're too goofy. They didn't like him.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I felt that Tommy Lee Jones. I thought he felt like he was in a different movie.
Yeah,
does that make sense?
It's bad directing. It's just bad directing.
It was. I mean, I thought he was like. I was like, Tommy Lee Jones is a great actor.
Mm-hmm.
He just felt very B movie.
Yeah,
does that make sense?
Well, it feels like discount value Joker, Jack Nicholson's Joker.
Yeah.
It's really annoying, and I think that's partly a studio meddling thing.
Yeah, I felt like it was supposed to be a completely different type of movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like I thought it felt like it could have been a lot darker.
Well, they wanted to make a kids
than
movie.
What it was. Yeah.
But and it's the same thing with Batman and Robin. That's taken to its absolute extreme, and it's
going to cartoon territory.
Yeah, it's goofier than Adam West's show from the 60s. Like it's like they wanted to sell toys, they wanted to sell merch, they wanted to sell Happy Meals. So they take all the grit, which I'm not going to say that the Burton movies aren't goofy. There's a little bit of a cheese to them, but especially the first one has a nice balance between of grit and cheese. Batman Returns, it gets a little goofy with the penguins walking down Gotham Boulevard with the rockets
missiles on its back
on their backs.
So stupid.
Which that I think that scene is actually referenced in this novelization.
I remember them talking about the penguin. Yeah. One thing these Schumacher films introduced was that the most unnecessary part of the film, it's like the opening scenes where Batman and Robin, like Batman in this case, in this one, is just suiting up, and it just kind of, for some reason, just needs to zoom in on his like butt.
Yeah, that's Schumacher. That's Schumacher's just a weirdo with that stuff.
To me, it reminded me of what's his Raimi from his. You know how he used to shoot films like Army of Darkness.
Yeah,
it's Raimi. Yeah, and there's the quick cuts.
Yeah, the quick zoom. It's like puts on the glove, quick zoom. You know, it's I get it. But yeah, when the Batman does the turnaround, it's like right there. It's like stop.
I guess that was still kind of cool in the mid 90s. I guess. I don't know. When did Darkman came out? That's Sam Raimi's attempt at a superhero movie.
That was in the 80s, I thought.
I think that was early 90s. I think it's after Evil Dead 2.
I'll look it up.
Isn't that Liam Neeson?
Yeah, it's like one of his first starring roles. Because I think his first movie is the Dirty Harry 5, The Deadpool, which is also Jim Carrey's first movie, where he gets force-fed heroin.
Oh, you're right. It's 1990.
Yeah. Because the Batman Forever kind of reminds me of if an elderly man directed Darkman. Without any of like the weirdness that is that first Darkman movie. Speaking of goofy movies, Darkman is a goofy movie. But
that has a novelization, doesn't it?
I have it.
Yeah.
I'll have to look to see if that might be a fun one to do sometime. I've never seen the film.
Oh, you need to watch the film first. Usually I say read the novelization, then watch the film. You need to watch Darkman.
Yeah, you should watch that one.
It is a strange film. Especially since Sam Raimi ended up directing Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if Batman became the Phantom of the Opera or something. And that's
Weird.
Darkman.
Weird.
Well, Danny Elfman does the score like he does for Batman.
That's true, he does. And
it sounds just like Batman. Because Danny Elfman, when he makes a superhero score, it sounds the same for every movie. I don't mind it because the Batman score is wonderful. But we have not talked about one important thing. We haven't talked about Seal and Kiss from a Rose. And how that song is yeah, that's for this movie.
Yep.
Kiss from a Rose.
It was?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Was it even in the movie?
Yeah, it's in the sound. The music video for this, it's Seal singing by the bat signal, and then like it's intercut with like goofy Batman Forever stuff.
Wow, I did not know that. That's funny.
This novelization also explains why the title's called Batman Forever.
Yes.
It after like Bruce Wayne, like his house is like infiltrated by the Riddler and Two-Face. Like they solve the riddles, they discover who the Riddler really is, and then he goes and he meets the Demon Bat again, which is kind of a reference to the Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
And whenever he comes out of that cave, like I think Alfred says, like, Master Bruce, he's like, I'm Batman, Alfred, forever. Just like, so that's why they call it that.
Well, it's better than in the film when he says, I'll be Batman forever as Two-Face falls to his death. I remember thinking that was dumb as a kid. Which, have I told you guys I was not allowed to watch Batman as a kid?
Mm.
But specifically, it was a misunderstanding. So when I was a kid, Batman and Robin and Batman Forever were always on TV. My parents never allowed it to be on. And so I didn't assume. And then one day, Batman, the original, the Keaton Batman's on. And Mom's like, oh, this is a good movie. I'm like, we're allowed to watch Batman? She's like, yeah, you're just not allowed to watch Batman and Robin because it's dumb.
That's funny. I like that. It's like, oh, it must be bad or something. No, it's just really dumb.
Well,
that's funny.
Because Freeze was my favorite supervillain. He still is my favorite of Batman's rogues because of Batman the Animated Series. So I always watch the beginning of Batman Forever, and then when the stupid stuff with Poison Ivy and then making Bane happens. Mom's like, "Yeah, we're turning this off."
Oh yeah.
Stupid. Like, it's still not as bad as when Poison Ivy and Bane are in disguises. They put a top hat on Bane. He still has
So
like
stupid.
the door mask, but he has a top hat on.
Like, I wonder who that could be. I know. I like how this is turning into like a review for the novelization to Batman Forever and the film Batman and Robin.
Well, you can, in my opinion, you can't talk about one without talking about the other.
That's very fair. You can't.
Because they're just bizarre. They're like two of the weirdest superhero films. I mean, I think in like 10 years we'll be talking about, oh god, what was that? The weird Marvel hero film, not Thunderbolts. What was it? Inhumans?
Internals?
Eternals. We'll be talking about how weird that was in like 10 years. Like we talk about these two films.
Yeah, I mean, at least we never got like I want to say we never got like Batman Triumphant, but we are kind of getting that because I think it's being adapted into like a Batman '89 comic where the villain's the Scarecrow, and it was going to go off that concept that Harley Quinn was the Joker's daughter or something like that.
Oh yeah, have you heard about this, Matthew?
Nope.
This was going to be the next Clooney Batman film. It's Batman Triumphant. I've heard it was also going to be called Batman Golden, which is the worst title possible. Where like
Batman Golden.
It was going to be like the most expensive Batman film ever because there's going to be this sequence where Batman gets the fear toxin and he has to. They were going to bring back all the old rogues gallery that had died, like bring all the actors back so he could fight them all at once.
That's weird.
And I guarantee they would have had to pay Jack Nicholson an insane amount of money to do that. I don't even think he would have done it. It would have been like if they made it today, they would have done like they did with the Flash movie and just CG Jack Nicholson. Like they did with oh gosh, I just watched the Flash, like that sequence. How can we talk about how terrible that is?
Do you want to rank this first? Close this out and do like just like a hangout. Like, hey guys, we're done with the episode.
Let's do it.
Okay, well, I'll go first. Batman Forever, definitely. Give it a read. It's a pretty solid novelization. I give it a B+.
I think since I said already, I didn't care for this story. I didn't care for the book as much either. But I mean, the book's better than the film. The story structure better in the book. I'll give it a C+.
I'm going to be favorable with this. It's not the best Batman novelization. I still think that a Batman novelization by Craig Sorrell Gardner is better written overall. This is my favorite Batman novelization. That we have read for the channel. I give this a 4.8 out of 5. I was really impressed with the first half of this book. This book would be perfect, except for it doesn't go all the way Matthew Stover Revenge of the Sith and keep the dark undertones that were in the beginning. It goes into what ends up being the film that we know and kind of like, I guess. I'm not a fan of Batman Forever, except for Seal singing while Val Kilmer swings on a helicopter around the Lady Gotham, which is just Statue of Liberty with Gotham written on top of it.
I'm gonna have to look that up. That's funny.
I think Rob D says Jack Nicholson is probably still spending Batman '89 money. Like that. He's not wrong.
Yeah. And like Small Time said, Nicole Kidman had the perfect look for the Bruce Wayne love interest.
And I do like the Chase Meridian, the idea of Chase Meridian. as sort of like someone who's going to psychoanalyze Batman. I don't think it's done enough. But yeah, I like this. It was a nice way to get back into the swing of being on the podcast again.
Yeah, I mean, I still recommend it. I think it's a good one. I will say, kind of going with what you were saying earlier, Jeremy. You can't like talk about one without the other. I am kind of curious now to see how Batman and Robin is going to be.
I am too. I'm not going to lie, and I think I'm going to hate it the whole time. But I am very curious, like looking at a train wreck, to see if they even attempt to try to make continuity make sense of this. I doubt it. I don't. Who wrote Batman and Robin? Do we know off the top of our heads?
No.
Okay. I don't think it's Peter. I'd be shocked if it was Peter David. But we know that Peter David doesn't keep continuity between his Spider-Man novelizations. So even if he did write it, I doubt there would be continuity between the two. But yeah, do we want to talk about what we're going to be reading next time?
Go for it.
Yeah.
I don't have it out with me, but we're going to be talking about Predator 2. We're going to be finishing the Predator novelizations.
Yep.
And we'll have special guest General Lots joining us.
That's right. Excited about that one. I don't have a physical copy, but if a lot of people don't, it's a hard one to find. So if you're looking for it, you can find the audio on YouTube.
For Batman and Robin.
When we found it,
yeah,
we found a new person that uploads a lot of novelizations. That it's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you just want to say the channel? Should we shout him out?
Yeah, it's Patrick Predator. He does a lot of the Alien and Predator stuff. So he's pretty much covered everything Alien and Predator at this point. He's done some Star Wars, did Batman Forever.
Yep.
I think done all the Batman novelizations. And he's done the German exclusive Indiana Jones books.
Ooh.
In English, because there's translations out there for those. So recommend checking them out.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how I read Batman Forever, was from Patrick Predator. And but yeah, I'd say check out Batman Forever. And like I said, I'm intrigued now to read Batman and Robin. Yeah. I don't want to be intrigued.
Adam, I thought the book that you picked for your turn was going to be Catwoman.
I hate you, Matthew.
I'm joking. We won't talk about that one much. Just kidding. So yeah, thanks for tuning in live stream. Yeah, now we're just going to talk about whatever we want.
Oh God! So I can't sit through The Flash. I'm sorry to the Snyderverse fans. I think it's pretty common knowledge that I hate Zack Snyder's films, with the exception of his remake of Dawn of the Dead, because they didn't allow him to go full Zack Snyder. I just don't like how they look. Even 300. 300 has a place in my gross heart as the first rated R movie I saw in the theater at the age of 12. But I don't like his films. I think they're terrible and they're dumb.
Yeah, they all have a filter on. It's
they
weird.
Look like mud. They look like mud, and it's just really annoying. And then so he sets up this whole universe, a DC universe of emo crybaby nonsense, where Batman screams Martha while punching Superman. It's just embarrassing. And people decide, because they hate Joss Whedon so much, that they want a 4-hour version of Justice League. Why do we want this? Oh, because
I actually enjoyed that though.
Why are there two Matthews?
Why am I here twice? What's going on?
But
That was weird.
I don't like these films, but The Flash takes the cake, in my opinion, as the worst of them. I think because I think that Ezra Miller, that's the actor's name that plays the Flash. It's like an
Mhm.
absolute psychopath of a human being.
Yeah.
I also think he's a bad actor. But
Actually wouldn't. That was like the last superhero movie that I saw. Is only because Batman was in it. Michael Keaton was going to be in it,
yeah,
and I thought that was like okay, but I think they ruined it in the end. Like I don't know. There were some things that I thought were visually cool to see.
You're kind of
Um,
echoing again, Matthew.
you've been
Really?
doing a lot of echoing.
Oh,
I don't understand.
Why are there two Matthews up?
yeah, I
That's
see
Again?
two.
the problem. Why do you have two profiles? You have the Geeks Addict as one profile, and then Matthew as another profile.
I don't know. Let me see. Let me.
Oh my god, this is terrible. Okay, so let me.
What about now? How's the audio now?
There we
Perfect.
go.
Are we fixed, or is it another one?
No, it's completely fixed.
Completely fixed.
Okay.
That
Audio
was-
sounds okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
you
I
sound
don't get it.
I don't know why. I don't know how you did that. We've
I-
been streaming together for years, and that's the first time you've done something like that. I'll tell you
I don't
what. I've been streaming for over a decade at this point, and
I've never seen two
I've never
profiles.
come across that
For the whole episode, I was just like, I thought we were just having technical issues. I was like, why do I see two
I
Matthews?
thought it was me. I thought that because I
Medics.
had issues coming in, that it was just how I had to deal with it, and I just ignored it. The whole
So
I'm
that explains the echo. There were two of me the whole time.
I know I've been sending private messages to Matthew throughout the whole episode. Like, I hear an echo. He's like, is it gone? Like, yeah, it's gone. Up there it is again. Up, no, it's gone.
It's
Up
so
there it is again.
stupid.
But anyway, I gotta
Okay,
get back to
well.
the Flash. So, like, I don't mind. Michael Keaton's probably the best part, and I didn't even mind Supergirl all that much. Okay, I would have preferred having CW Supergirl in because I just like her. But like they insisted on bringing in dead actors in
Yeah.
in motion capture, but it's not even motion capture. It's AI.
Yeah.
It's AI. They bring in Michael
Reeves. Now, who am I thinking?
Christopher Reeves.
Christopher Reeves.
Oh, we lost
Oh,
Jeremy.
he lost Jeremy. He said Superman's name wrong, so he got booted. He booted himself, it looks like.
Well, while we wait for Jeremy to get back, we got Chris Leon 1991. Nice to see you guys back. Yeah, it's great to be back. And yes, we are planning to have more episodes. Rob D says he did not like Shazam. He won't even watch the second one. I haven't even seen the first one. If I'm being
You talking
honest.
about the Shaquille O'Neal film? No, Sinbad. Which one was it?
No, Captain Marvel. Up there's Jeremy.
Oh, look, watch this. Where'd he go? There we are. Nope.
Nope.
What's going on, Jeremy? You're
Nope. There he
there.
is.
We go. Yay!
it makes me manually reset it every time with your stuff. It does not like my webcam. But
That's so
yeah,
stupid.
anyway. No, you're thinking of
I'll
Steel
be right back.
with Shaquille O'Neal.
No, I'm
Shazam's-
thinking of the movie where he's like a genie.
Oh god, same era too.
Yeah.
What was it? That was
probably
Kazam, I think.
Kazam. Yeah, that was
Kazam.
That's I would rather watch Kazam than Steel. I wouldn't want to watch either. I'd rather play Shaq Fu on the Sega Genesis. I'll tell you what, I'm actually kind of decent at playing Shaq Fu.
That's
Sega
awesome.
Genesis.
That's funny. I'll be right back. You guys have at it.
All right.
Okay. So Christopher Reeves is brought in. 30 Superman brought in, but the ultimate one that got me that I thought was so offensive. They brought in
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage to film that stupid fight with the spider, which is just a terrible Kevin Smith rant from a Comic-Con. And like they CG over him to the point they didn't even need him there in general.
Yeah, I thought that I remembered that that was concept art for Tim Burton's Superman film. It was going to show like the death and rebirth of Superman, and he like gets like the long hair and fights a giant spider or something like that.
I think the idea was Brainiac became a spider.
Mm-hmm.
And wasn't there was ideas they wanted Keanu Reeves to voice Brainiac?
Oh, I didn't hear that.
I've heard so many weird things about that movie. I'm so glad that didn't become a thing.
Yeah.
I still think Superman 4: The Quest for Peace is the best one. It's the one I laugh at the most.
With
That was
Gene Hackman roaring throughout the movie like as Nuclear Man.
you know that was made by Canon Films that made the Death Wish sequels. And the only reason they got what's his face back to be Superman? Why do I keep forgetting Christopher Reeves? The only reason they could get him back was so he could write the script. So he wrote a script about and like all the nukes being thrown at the sun. That was his idea because he wanted to clean up the planet and get rid of the nukes. It was just his personal politics. And they said, sure, put that in a Superman movie.
It's like, hey, while you're at it, can we add this bit where Superman can repair walls with telekinetic vision or something? Let's just give Superman more superpowers.
Why not? I just love the comically big net that he puts all the nukes in.
It's like, where the heck did he get that net? I mean, did he make it or something? Oh yeah, Canon Films like also like was about to make a Spider-Man movie, and I remember the poster like shows Spider-Man web swinging in space, like shooting a web at the Earth. I'm like, how does this have to do with Spider-Man?
Well, they would sell you on a movie that they didn't even make. That was their thing.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was just watching Red Letter Media did another Best the Worst, and they reviewed The Apple, Canon Films' musical. I don't know if y'all are familiar with this. They made I've actually seen The Apple. It is one of the most fascinating things ever. It's just an allegory for Adam and Eve, but with music execs, and it's disco in the 90s.
Yeah, it was supposed to take place in. It was a futuristic film, right?
Yeah,
it was supposed to take place. What year was it supposed to take place in?
It was the
1994. It's so weird.
It is.
I saw that episode.
That movie is so wild. There's a whole scene, like musical number about coming. I'm not kidding. That is a thing in this.
Well, Paper Movies is back as with our explicit tags.
I can't. If you guys can haven't seen it, I highly recommend watching Electric Boogaloo, the documentary of just the making of Canon Films. It's so fascinating, like how like they devolved into just being just sleaze. They were always sleaze, but they got like extra sleazy near the end. And like they would have like these two like trays for scripts, and they were the Chuck trays were Chuck Norris or Charles Bronson. They would decide which one was going to get which, and so that's how you get like Invasion USA and like Death Wish 3, or my personal favorite, Over the Top, when they thought an arm wrestling movie was going to be as big as Rocky, so they gave Sylvester Stallone millions that they didn't even have to make it. They would just do things like that. Or when Canon Films imploded, the two guys that created it made two like salsa dancing movies to compete with one another, because that was their big like thing, that like their big breakout thing was they made that movie Break In about breakdancing, and then they made Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo. So they thought that, I think it was like salsa, or it was lambada. They thought that this like sexy like partners dance would be like the next big thing, like breakdancing. And so they tried to make it a thing in like the early 90s, and they like just both bombed.
While I'm thinking of it, Jeremy, you mentioned we're talking about the Predator 2 coming up. I saw the trailer today for that new Predator movie coming out.
Oh, we can talk about that. We can talk about how I feel.
Ooh, the old Whoopi Goldberg Predator.
Oh, the cartoon?
No,
the
this was the
movie?
live action one.
No, I mean the live action Predator looks like a flippin' cartoon.
Oh, well, yeah.
It looks as bad as they made their TCW Predator movie that came out a month ago, and everyone got mad that I didn't like it. I'm sorry, if you say Yautja in the film and you still make a bad film, I'm going to say it's a bad film. It is. You can't tell me otherwise. It's terrible. It's objectively bad.
So you've been reviewing all of the books. You talked about comics. You need to be a consultant for these films. I'm not even playing.
I should be on the writing staff for Alien and Predator.
Yes.
But it's Disney. They don't like me. They don't like me. I tried to be an intern at Lucasfilm, but they've seen my reviews. They're not going to pick me. Are you kidding me?
Nope. They're like, oh, yeah, we've seen you. And you're associated with that guy.
Made fun of their would-be messiah, Dave Filoni, one too many times.
Oh, yeah.
They're not going to allow me in there. Like,
you've appeared on my channel as Dave Filoni one time.
Dave.
Well, I will say, though, it's just like these, what I was wanting to kind of segment into was, I don't know if either of you have been to a movie like lately.
Nope.
It's the previews are getting out of hand. Like they will show for a showing, like I went to go see the new Fantastic Four movie today, which was a good movie. I will say that it was the best Fantastic Four movie. I don't know if you guys have seen all the other ones, but I will say
the only one I haven't seen yet.
It was good. It was good. We saw Jeremy is waiting.
Oh yeah, I am the honky white devil. That's for sure.
It showed like the Regal promo things, and then it showed like 3 or 4 trailers, and then it would show like we're about to start the movie. Here's 2 more trailers.
What?
Yeah. Like
wow.
The movie, the show time was like 12:50. The movie didn't start until 1:30.
That's stupid.
Are you serious?
That is stupid.
That's unreasonable.
Like,
what theater was this?
It was the Warren Theater out here in
like AMC.
No, Regal.
Regal. That's right. That's stupid. I think they're the ones that play like Coca-Cola commercials and insurance company commercials.
Yeah, they all do that now. That's been a corporate thing for like a decade. It's terrible.
Didn't like in the theaters, like in the 90s, didn't it show like here's 3 trailers and then your movie starts?
Yes,
yeah.
That's how.
Now you got 40 minutes of it.
It started to change in the 2010s when they like went to digital.
So stupid.
Like we went to go see me, my wife, and my brother-in-law went to go see Rise of Skywalker, and it showed like this 20-minute like preview for another film. It was like 20 minutes of another film. I can't remember what it was, but it showed all the trailers, and then it said, "Okay, here's 20 minutes of a movie that you're not paying to see." And then once that like ended, my brother-in-law like actually yelled out, "Start the movie," or something like that.
Yeah. I think that's reasonable.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it reminds me of I guess when Empire Strikes Back came out. Remember they did the short film before that, Dark Angel or Black Angel. But yeah. I would have been excited about that because that was awesome.
Yeah, it's a neat one. It's a
Yeah.
neat short film.
Which
You
was
you
supposed
have
to be
a
turned
love.
into I do. It was supposed to turn into a full length like feature film, but that fell through.
Yeah.
I the only times I don't mind those things was like when I was a kid and we went to go see like Pixar films and they normally would show like an animated like short. Like
Mm-hmm.
those were actually sometimes pretty decent and
Oh, yeah.
entertaining. So I didn't really mind those too much. But this the formatting was just like it was you know promotional, preview, and now your feature presentation, preview. Oh, here's your movie. Sorry.
I think the
That's
last
dumb.
film I saw in the theater was Alien Romulus, where I had to urinate the whole time because the seats kept rattling and throwing me around. And I'm like, I didn't go to Star Tours here. I came to see an alien movie. Can my seat not be flinging me around? Like I have to piss. Like, stop. I thought I was going to have an accident in the theater, like I'm elderly and incontinent.
Well, Snyder fans.
What does that mean?
I don't know what that means. I think we're just too old.
Rob D, explain.
Well, and Death Wish 3 is so ridiculous.
I want there to be a Death Wish 3 novelization so bad. Like
Is there a 2?
So there are no novelizations of Death Wish. Death Wish was based off of a novel of the same title. Very good novel, very dark and depressing. The movie comes out, directed by Michael Winner, and Brian Garfield, who wrote the novel for Death Wish, hated the film, just hated it. So he wrote a rebuttal called Death Sentence, which is this direct sequel to Death Wish, which I argue is probably one of the best novel sequels ever. It just goes into like the psyche behind becoming a vigilante and the costs of doing something like that on your personal life. Um, and then it's been made into two different movies. They made Death Wish 2, which is loosely based off that film. And then they made a movie called Death Sentence, but from the director of Saw, James Wan, starring Kevin Bacon. And the only thing it has in common is that a child dies and that the father goes out for revenge. Death Sentence is one of those like films that from like the mid 2000s that was super edgy that no one remembers. It's just one of those really violent like it's like it reminds me a lot of do you guys remember the Max Payne movie? They took that video game and they made the movie with Mark Wahlberg and it's just an edgelord fest the whole time and
Yeah.
terrible. Just imagine that but with less slow-mo and more graphic violence and people being murdered with machetes. That's Death Sentence, the 2006 film. One of those weird factoids, the film that just stays lodged in my brain for eternity. It's not even good, except for John Goodman plays an arms dealer that's like sweaty and gross.
John Goodman, back when he was still pretty big back then, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like a really weird. It's not even like a joke role. He's playing it straight. He's like, it's prototype for what he would do for 10 Cloverfield Lane, that weird Cloverfield sequel
Oh yeah.
where he plays like the psychopath.
Oh, guys. I'm sorry. I got some we'll come back to this. I got I want to talk about some upcoming novelizations that were coming out, but we'll get to that in a minute. Sorry. I just got excited when I saw something. Go ahead.
Oh, well, I was just gonna say, like, you bring up like John Goodman playing a psychopath, and like for some reason, my mind immediately went to when he played that sociopathic Bible salesman from "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?"
Yeah.
Where he just crushes that frog in his hand and throws.
There's also a Klan member.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And it just kind of made me laugh because like later they talk about how he's like, yeah, we then we was beat up by a Bible salesman and then kicked out of this one.
We thought
Anyway,
he was a toad.
Don't shake the treasure.
It's so stupid.
Treasure.
Oh, man. It's
There should
such
be
a good movie. I wish that had a novelization.
I was about to say,
Which I guess it's based off the Odyssey, right?
Yeah, it's Homer's The Odyssey, but still, it could use a novelization.
Oh yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's based off a lot of folklore and everything too, like the whole Robert Johnson selling his soul to the
Yeah.
devil thing, and
Yeah.
um,
With Tommy. It came from Tishomingo. It's right here in Oklahoma.
yeah. Anyway, you were talking about novelizations, Matthew. Sorry.
I was going to say, I just checked out Titan Books, which they're the only ones that seem to be putting out novelizations these days. The Toxic Avenger. So is that being remade?
I don't know. I know we're getting a re-release of Highlander's novelization. I think that's from Titan Books because there's going to be a Henry Cavill film, but it's still the Gary Kilworth novelization, which I highly recommend you all check out. That's a good novelization.
This one is what got me excited, and I interrupted, and I'm sorry, but Night of the Living Dead, the official novelization.
Well, they can do that because it's public domain.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, it's getting a hardback format in September.
Ooh.
Cool.
Yeah.
The Dawn of the Dead novelization was very good. I did a single cut for that. A long time
For some
ago.
reason, I thought that I already had that one. I was like, oh, wait, that was Dawn of the Dead. Never mind. There's too many
Yeah.
like of the Deads, like when it comes
Exactly,
to zombie
yeah.
movies.
Yeah, but it's they've got the Night of the Living Dead official novelization, and the same day they're going to be releasing the Night of the Living Dead, the official story of the film. So I guess like a behind the scenes,
book, yeah.
right?
And we've posted about the. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said they've also got that Toxic Avenger, the official novelization, comes out September 1st, and for those who like Jaws, there's a Memories from Martha's Vineyard revised and updated edition of Jaws, and one more, the official Godzilla movie novelization Omnibus, which has Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Yeah, I'm buying that one.
That's cool. That I mean, that's more novelizations being released this year than we have in the past 2 years.
And we're getting a lot of stuff from like the more indie publishers. Like I've been doing stuff for Echo Icon, Christian Francis's publishing company, where he released. Well, he has a bunch coming out in October. We got in the Mouth of Madness, the Carpenter film's getting a novelization, which is the first Carpenter film novelization we've gotten since Starman?
Really?
Maybe The Thing? I can't remember which one came out later.
Hopefully we get a Big Trouble in Little China. I would be all over that.
I'm shocked we got In the Mouth of Madness. The thing is the rights when you have a big film like that. Mm-hmm. It's really hard to get the rights. But we're also getting Night of the Comets getting a novelization. The Gate getting a
I saw sorry to interrupt, Tremors. But the Night of the what? Oh yeah, Tremors. Mm-hmm. Isn't it going to have a different title though?
Yes, it's going to have its original title, which I can't remember.
That's right.
What was the other? Oh, we're getting Camp novelization. Or is that out? The Sleepaway Camp.
Oh yeah, we posted about that one, and Matthew has a review copy of it.
I've been reading it. I'm on chapter 5 right now on the Kindle.
I'm in the middle of Maniac Cop 3 right now. Novelization of that.
Okay. I'll say here's a sneak peek. I'm not done yet. I'm on chapter 5. It's like I'm like 30% into it. So far, guys, not bad. It's written by B.R. Flynn. Very different from the film, but similar. I mean, it's taking a lot. Okay, it's familiar. Okay, you watch the film and you read the book. You're like, okay, yeah, it's familiar, but there's been a lot of differences so far. But yeah, I rewatched the film before I started it, which is such a weird movie.
It is.
Yeah, I'll have a full review of it when I'm finished with it.
Yeah.
But that comes out by Encyclopocalypse. So
I'm kind of wondering how they're going to pull off that scene that I just, Matthew, the
end that everyone.
Yeah.
The amount of boy piles in that film is just ridiculous.
I mean, it's definitely
but a lot of boy wrestling and men in short shorts. It's one of those. It wanted to sexualize men over women, which women were typically overly sexualized in the slasher films. Upper.
Rob D says, or Small Time Republic says, please don't use the phrase sneak peek in reference to Sleepaway.
Oh no!
That's good.
Um,
That's good. But very true. It's definitely perverted. There's no doubt about that.
very sexualized. Although
Yep.
Sleepaway Camp 2 has the most creative death ever, with drowning someone in a outhouse.
Ew.
That's Sleepaway
Crappy
Camp.
way to die there.
Yes, it is crappy.
Sleepaway Camp 2, Unhappy Campers.
You know, a
Sorry.
guy I talked to that manages a comic book shop that I took Matthew to a while ago. He actually met Felicia Rose, and I was like, "Well, yeah, how is she like?" And everything. He's like, "Oh, he's like, man, she's like the nicest person ever, and everything." And it's just she loves going to all these horror conventions and everything, meeting all the fans and everything. And I was just like, I think the only other sleepaway camp movie that she was in was like
The Return of Sleepaway Camp.
where she played like she was like a sheriff in disguise, and it was like the most obvious disguise ever.
So
That
she
movie-
wasn't a quiet dude.
No, she supposedly has like one of those trach tube talking things. And it's like
Weird.
really weird. That movie's just mean. It's a mean-spirited sequel.
Mm.
Whereas like Sleepaway Camps 2 and 3 are really stupid. Oh no. Oh god, I gotta talk about Final Girl Support Group. Don't let me forget, Matthew, because I have to go on a rant because it has to do with this.
There you go, Rob D.
It's not part 2 though.
No, we need a part 2. It would just be that. It would just be 10 pages at the end of that would be
Yeah.
Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2. But
Also,
oh yeah.
that's the case.
But what was I saying? Yeah, no, Sleepaway Camp, Return to Sleepaway Camp is one of the most annoying, mean-spirited films I think I've ever seen.
Really?
It's just mean. Like the main character is this like flabby kid, as our old friend Tim would say, misshapen.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Tim. He was a really funny human being. he did once refer to a certain YouTuber as misshapen. But this kid is just like he's just this like slovenly, gross human being that's really annoying. But everyone bullies him, and he's mean, and like everyone's mean. Like and his like catchphrase is saying "Your ass stinks" and running away. It's just
I can imagine that, but he's like always got a trench coat on, and it's like flies up in the wind when he runs away.
no,
cape.
he's just a sweaty, like misshapen child, and like everyone's mean to him. Like he ends up smoking a joint that's not even marijuana; it's poop.
Ew.
It's just mean. It's just a mean movie, and it's just full of member berries. It might be the first member berry movie, but it's Sleepaway Camp, and no one gives two craps about Sleepaway Camp other than weirdos like us. And like, it's just a bad movie.
I know, it's like, why have I seen that one 3 times now? It's so stupid.
The first Sleepaway Camp is just fascinating.
I introduced the movie to my wife last year, actually, and I kind of told her about the essential stuff. Like I didn't spoil it. Like it's like, oh yeah, this movie has a controversial ending. It's a shocking ending. She's just like, but she was actually like pretty invested in like the killer because she had it narrowed down to like who the killer actually was and her cousin. I can't remember his name. Ricky, is that his name?
Yeah, annoying ass Ricky.
Angry Ricky.
Yeah.
Pardon my French though, but this movie does have like one of the best comebacks ever. he shouldn't die, Rick. He's like, he shouldn't live.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just love
I
when,
actually just passed that part in the book.
I love when the camp, like the owner of the camp, just starts beating up Ricky, and he's just hitting him like a
Oh yeah,
gorilla.
he's like, and then he like walks out of the woods, and he's like looks over, and he's like, "No, it can't be you." Then the arrow in the throat.
Yeah, which isn't even like, just think of that, and then think of several years before Friday the 13th, where Kevin Bacon slowly gets the arrow to the back of the neck, out the throat. What and like that looks so good, and then Sleepaway Camp just looks like shit.
Yeah.
Or
I
but
think
what
that
always gets me is the curling iron death.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
so uncomfortable.
yeah. And then, but then it gets to like the ending scene, and then like it wasn't like her initial like face that scared her. It was like when it was panning out and showing that like that claymated
form.
figure of her form and everything. That's
Oh,
Yeah.
that was a real stunt person.
oh, it was. Oh, I
Yeah,
thought it was
and
like
it was a very tiny adult, and they put the mask. That's why the face is like. I'm trying not to spoil it, but it is a cast of a certain actor's face put on a grown up for reasons that
right.
you can't
Right. Yeah.
have. You
Yeah.
could actually do that, but that's why it looks so weird. And once I figured, if you watch it in high definition, you can tell, because you should not don't watch Sleepaway Camp in high definition. Just find a DVD copy, because there's certain things, because of high definition, they shot it for, like, a VHS release, for instance, where you can't tell things, but you can clearly tell, like, the killer looks like wrong, and it looks like a stunt person,
Mm-hmm.
because it's supposed to be in shadow. But there's something with the high definition transfer. You can see things, and it's like just becomes weird and confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like.
Go
I
ahead.
did like the music of that scene though. That kind of sold that whole scene. It was they. I know that. I know Matthew. And I know you guys play like guitar and everything, but I was like, I like how they used if I'm not mistaken, they use what they call like the devil's tone. It's called a tritone. Sounds like something like this. Something like that.
Mhm.
But more high pitched and everything. I just happen to have my piano here just for that.
That's funny. Yeah. We've been waiting for that all night.
It's like
No.
my day has come.
Yeah.
That
The
is
devil's tone.
That is the only slasher movie that is not brought up in the final girl support group. I was waiting for it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you've been doing your Grady Hendrix run through.
Yeah.
Let me say one thing before we get into that about Sleepaway Camp. I will say, reading the novelization, I will recommend it. I'm only 20 or 30 something percent into it. I am going to recommend it because the changes have been pretty fascinating. The huge spoiler at the end of the film is not a spoiler at all in the book. Like, it's right up front.
Okay, that's interesting to.
Yeah, so it has me really curious to know how it's going to end and if there's going to be some sort of a plot twist. But with things happening in the camp, you know how we have the chef who has his fate. It's altered in the book. I prefer the book, but I still I do have that hesitancy with like, well, what's the big surprise at the end? Because what the big reveal was mentioned right at the beginning of the book. So I'm like, where's this going to go? But so far, the things that have been changed, I have been digging it. So pre-order it. It's available for pre-order right now. I've got the mass market paperback version pre-ordered, which is the original artwork of the poster of the film.
Oh, with like the knife going through a shoe.
Yeah, the knife going through the shoe. The art that I showed on the Kindle version is going to be the trade paperback size, so not mass market, but a trade paperback. And I'm guessing like the artwork was done by.
I like it.
It's pretty cool. It's got the same last name as the the guy that owns the production company or the publishing company. So I'm guessing it's his a
It's
family
Sean,
member.
Sean Drager. I
Yeah,
think it's
so
his daughter. His daughter does some covers for them
yeah,
now.
I mean it's a fantastic. I mean you can't really see in the black and white, but it is fantastic art.
Yeah, she's
Um,
really good. She's done a few other covers for them.
Yeah.
Um,
Sleepaway Camp, a nice place for summer vacation, a perfect place to die.
And boom.
What is that? I can't
I
see
just
it.
pre-ordered it.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Okay, can we talk some Final Girl support group
You may.
and how I hate this book with the White Hot Density of 1,000 Suns? It's one of the worst. Okay, so I don't hate Grady Hendrix. I'm going to say that out loud. I really liked My Best Friend's Exorcism. Thought it was a good story with two really, really well written main characters. Everyone else was a kind of a caricature, but that was the point. It's a teenage girl's perspective. And like he even goes when you start the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, he says that in the foreword because people complained about the shallow characters in My Best Friend's Exorcism. It was like, here's a parent's perspective from the same era. Enjoy. Which I've taken a break from that. I'm reading something else right now, but I really liked We Sold Our Souls because I'm a big metal fan. I know that's like one of your least favorites, Matthew.
Yep.
But I really liked that. It's like if you've ever seen the metal documentary Anvil, the story of Anvil. It's like that, but if Anvil was actually interesting. Just like not a bad band that sings metal songs about smoking marijuana. They did a whole concept album when marijuana became legal in California. I'm not kidding. Like that's just Anvil. But like Final Girl support group is, if I hadn't read Alien Colony War this year and Alien Into Cadris, it would be the worst thing I've ever read in my entire life.
Wow.
It is first person present tense, which is really tedious to read. The main character Lynette is an idiot and crazy.
Yeah.
This is me being a gun nerd. A revolver is described as having a manual safety, which truly baffled me. And I messaged General Watts, who's also a big gun guy. I'm like, can you think of a revolver with a safety? He's like, are there any in California? And I'm like, no. He's like, well, I can't think of any. Because in California, if you have a semi-automatic handgun and you like a new semi-automatic handgun, part of getting it on the California handgun roster is it has to have a manual external safety.
So no Smith & Wesson M&Ps then.
Oh no, they have them. They have the shields and they have manual safeties on them.
Interesting.
If it's a gun made 2014 onward, it has to have a manual.
Okay.
So we don't have any Gen 4 or Gen 5 Glocks in California. We just have Gen 3s.
Okay.
It's weird. It's really tedious by guns in California. But like my SIG P365 has an external safety. It also has to have a magazine disconnect, which is really annoying.
I hope at least it's not as bad as like from the movie Joker, where he kills like some people with a revolver. He fires 10 shots, like, and then like, but he's got like it's a revolver, so it's got like maybe 5 to 6 shots at tops, and he like fires like 10 rounds into people.
Does he? I have to rewatch that.
Like seriously, watch that scene where he kills those people on the subway. Like he does not shoot like 6 shots; he shoots like maybe 10.
Interesting.
But anyway, Final Girl support group. Everyone in the support group, with the exception of the one woman who has she's the lesbian woman who has the wife who's dying of like cancer. She's okay. She makes sense to be miserable because her partner's dying. Everyone else just sucks. They're just the worst. And I get that they've gone through horrible experiences because the whole plot of the book is that all these women were attacked when they were teenagers, and then they were attacked again later, and then their horrible traumatic events were exploited by Hollywood, and they got terrible movies made after them.
Yeah.
So you have one girl that's whose franchise was Friday the 13th. One was Nightmare on Elm Street. One was Halloween. One was Scream. Our main characters, it turns out, was Silent Night, Deadly Night. And
doesn't one of it the beginning start off with like one of them at a horror con, like this is my life now and it sucks, and she's like a drug addict because of it, or alcoholic or something?
She wasn't at a horror convention, but there is one that is a horrible drug addict, and she's the most annoying of all of them.
I remember there's like one where like she's at a convention or something, and like all these guys are like, "Oh, what was it like on the set?" And she was like a kid, and like these boys have this fascination, and she's just like, "This is just so stupid."
I don't.
Am I remembering something else, or
I think you're remembering something else. I know they reference people doing convention circuits, but it's Lynette's perspective the whole time, and she's just an idiot. She is one of the dumbest protagonists I've ever read in my entire life. And it's like so easy. Like it's just like the only reason there are twists and turns is because Lynette's stupid. And I was really hoping there'd be a twist that she was an unreliable narrator. But that would be too smart for that book. And I'm like, because like there's someone going around trying to kill all of them. And it's pretty clear from like chapter 3 who it is.
Did you finish the book? Did you say
Yeah.
you were still working on it?
I finished it 2 days ago.
Okay.
It is one of the worst things I've ever read. The ending is so stupid. Well, the climax is just Scream 4. It's verbatim, almost exactly like Scream 4, except for it's in a campground instead of in a hospital, and no one got defibbed in the head, which is like the best part of Scream 4. The killer gets defibbed directly to the brain, and it is played as like an over the top killing. But like that's like it's like so Grady Hendrix wrote this in 2014, which is shocking. It reads like it was written in 2010. Like it reads like a first time writing a book and you shelve it because it's not good. And this was shelved for like a decade. And he brought it back and he changed some things. I'm pretty sure the last chapter is written in 2021 because it's kind of got the 2021 politics going on. But like all the references to things, it's the remake craze of the late 2000s where they remade all the 80s horror movies. And it's not soft reboots.
Well, here's the thing about this book. I think Grady Hendrix was with Quirk Books, and then this was his first book that was published by Del Rey.
Oh, well, that would explain some. It would explain
that,
some of the politics being thrown in.
Yeah.
Which Grady Hendrix always leans a little left. That's fine. I don't mind that.
Penguin Random House. Sorry, not Del Rey.
Well, Penguin Random House, I think, is in partnership with Del Rey at this point.
They are. It's in an imprint.
Yeah,
Del Rey is
the as I call them, the great enemy, Del Rey. They have everything. Well, them and Titan Books, they like own all the IPs now, and it's terrible. It's so bad. Because like they just have, it's like they can just throw their agenda on everything. Titan Books is like in a competition to catch up with Del Rey in doing that because Del Rey's been doing it for like a decade. It's only been like the last 6 years with Titan Books where they've just put it where there's like, even though in all AVP novels, the Yautja culture, the Predator culture is a matriarchal society, except for an AVP Rift War, where there's a angry teenage girl predator who's like down with the patriarchy. That's a thing in that book. I think Matthew died a little bit on the inside there. What's some other? Oh, I mean, nothing's nothing has topped Alien: The Cold Forge when the Marceau Blue, the most narcissistic character that's ever been written, she's a disabled black woman who's like possibly non-binary. I'm not sure, but she uses an android. Like she connects her brain to an android that's a white male to use his white privilege to get things done. That's a sentence in a book. That was said almost verbatim in that book. Isn't it great to read IPs in 2025? I love that so much. Isn't it great that politics have ruined? And I'm not just saying like left politics. I mean politics in general have ruined like every IP at this point that gets books.
Yeah, it's books these days kind of suck.
You gotta like scrounge and dig deep for something decent. That's why I've gone a lot with Christian Francis with the with his Maniac Cop stuff. There's not a lot of that going on. Like I don't mind politics, even if they're politics that I don't agree with necessarily. I don't mind it. It's down your throat to the detriment of the story.
Yeah. No, I haven't released a review yet on this book, but there's one that I read this month called Dungeon Crawler Carl. It was published by Ace Books. I really want to look more into Ace Books because it was published in 2020 originally. Zero politics. Nothing in there is, this woke crap that is finding its way everywhere. It was a fun book. The only problem that I had with it was there's just like language, like nonstop, just like foul language the entire time. But the story was actually very, very fun. And like it's like an eight-part series so far. I think there's going to be more, but it was such a fun book. I've got the second one back there. I'm going to start on that one soon, but and they're pretty thick. The first book was like 450 pages. I went through that in like 2 weeks. I'm a slow reader. I couldn't put this one down. So if that tells you anything, you might want to get it.
Have you guys?
That was cool.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying that was a really cool, fun book. Fast paced.
We were talking about Grady Hendrix. Have you guys read How to Sell a Haunted House?
No, yeah. I have it on I'm in line to listen to it through Libby.
I was about to say that's one I would recommend listening to because when I had my old security job where I worked evenings like almost a year and a half ago, I thought it'd be fun while patrolling to listen to that, which in a sense it was, but it was also like creepy.
Was this when you saw the people in the tent doing the nasties?
Oh no.
On the lake.
My favorite of Adam's old job stories. Can we even? I'm sorry, I should have asked if I can bring that story up.
Oh no, it's okay. No, that's not when. It was one night where I was working alone when I was. There was nobody else on shift, so I was the only one that had to kind of do all the patrolling, and I was just like, so basically, I was just like by myself, and I listened to this audiobook, and I was like, that was a terrible idea, but it was like in a good way. Like it was fun, but it kind of tells you like that's a scary book. So
yeah. Well, it's like if you've ever read Stephen King's Desperation, you ever put that on and listen to it while driving in the middle of nowhere? It's so uncomfy because that's just like a crazy entity that's disguised itself as like a police officer pulling people over and killing them. But there's more to it than that. It's actually one of King's books about faith, believe it or not. It's like his big one about faith and Christianity. But what did you pull?
I just wanted to show you guys a couple of books that I recently picked up. One of them is a Michael Crichton and James Patterson novel.
You mean? Oh yeah, the scraps of
Eruption. Yeah,
and James Patterson wrote it out.
Yeah,
I heard about that.
yeah. I guess I saw it all over the place in Barnes and Noble, and then I went to an Ollie's, and they had it for like $4. So I was like, I'll get that. I liked this one, like the cover. So I'll be reading this one soon. It's pretty small, but I'm gonna get that one soon. This is the one I'm excited about. Devils by
Okay.
Joe Abercrombie. I guess it's like a fantasy horror type thing. It's one of these days I'll start that. It's a newer release, but yeah, it's nice to be taking a break from Star Wars books all the time,
Um,
and reading something different. You know,
Rob D asked why I torture myself with Alien and Predator, modern Alien Predator content. Well, it's because no one objectively reviews them. No one objectively reviews Alien Predator stuff. It is a lot of shilling, especially with Alien novels. There's a lot of shilling. It's quite frankly disgusting. There is no what's the word I'm thinking of? There's no real honesty for a lot of that stuff with the reviewing. They just want to get free books. And so they're
talking
gonna,
about sounds like you're talking about Disney Star Wars books.
it's the same deal with that. There's no integrity. That's what I'm getting at. There is no real integrity with a lot of people that, especially in the last few years of the Alien stuff. There's no new Predator content other than movies at this point. The Predator ruined that for everything. I mean, sure, Marvel makes their weird Marvel superhero of the week versus a Yautja comic, which no one wants that. No one wants that at all. Well, they kind of wanted Predator Wolverine, which is just weird. Predator Black Panther, I will say, is the only one of them that actually makes sense. Because Black Panther's just a dude with tech. Like, that makes sense. That's Wolverine has a healing factor. That's not fair to the Predator. And then, like, he's fighting Spider-Man now.
Yeah, I saw that one.
That's the latest one. I think they just wrapped that up. I'm just anyway. But yeah, there's no integrity with a lot of that stuff, and they won't be much longer because they're starting to stop making Alien audiobooks, and I can't sit and read these things. I gotta listen to them, particularly when like I'm welding or something. I'm working. It's the only way I can get through like things like Colony War. One of the worst books where a main character's name is Chair for Cherokee, because they retconned that the Shy, one of the main characters in Into Cadris, it's her sister. Shy was for Cheyenne. They retconned their dad was Native American, which is the first racial retcon I've ever read in a book.
Okay, so who is the author of that?
Which one? They're two different authors.
Okay, either one of them.
Into Cadris was written by Alex White, the non-binary Chuck Wendig. They literally write the same, and they used to look the same, which was really weird. But now, Alex White looks different and does a lot of like weird makeup and stuff. But they were all those two write both in third person present tense. But this, who wrote Colony War? He only wrote one thing. I think it was David Barnett or something like that. That is the worst book. That is just Brexit in the Alien universe. Brexit several years removed from it. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
It's probably when the book started getting like written. But it's like the names though. That's funny. That reminds me of the newest X-Files book that was published by Claudia Gray, who used to be a good Star Wars writer before. It's like that was her.
Took over.
It was like her. She had like a one-hit wonder, and then just became complete garbage. She wrote this X-Files book, and that's the X-Files book that sucks. There's a character's name called Star Wars Ski. Okay, Star Wars with ski at the end. Star Wars Ski.
That's stupid. That's up there with E.K. Johnson's Anakin loved flying.
He really loved flying.
He really loved flying.
Gosh.
Sabe or Harambe or whatever.
Harambe and
Whatever
Sabe,
handmaid
Padre,
horribly tortured and Anakin's loving flying.
Sabe.
Well, I
So
picked these up recently. You were talking earlier, Jeremy, about like Peter David writing Hulk books, and I found a hardcover of this.
Yeah, I didn't know they made a hardcover. It makes sense.
Yeah, I didn't know either. And
Is that the fantasy book club size edition?
Yeah,
Or is it full size? Okay.
They also have one of Daredevil.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they had I didn't even know that they had these hardcover novelizations. So I was glad to find those. And what was that? Anakin didn't like it. Sorry, I had to.
How many of the hardcover versions of novelizations do you have? Do you know off the top of your head?
I have these two.
Because I thought you had quite a few of like the hardcover.
I have a couple of the X-Men.
I have a bunch
novelizations. Let me see.
I'm looking to see what I have.
Godzilla. I'll have to double check. I have Godzilla, like the '90s one, and that we reviewed.
I can list off some of the ones I have. I have
yeah, go ahead.
American Gigolo. I had to buy it. I didn't know there was a novelization. It's the only time I've ever seen it. Basic Instinct.
Of course you do.
Of course I do.
I bought you one. Wasn't it Robin Hood?
Yes, I was getting that. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, Dragon Slayer, Platoon, Poltergeist, Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock, Willow, The Deer Hunter, Silent Night, Deadly Night, was it Basket Case, the 4 Indiana Jones novelizations, the Star Wars Saga, the TCW novelization. Do I have any? No, because I no longer have the Alien and Aliens in hardcover.
Didn't you get the My Bloody Valentine? Did you get that?
No, because the guy wanted $500 for it.
It's been reprinted.
When?
So there might be some new copies available still. I got an email about it like 2 weeks ago.
What?
Yeah. Kind of the same with Jeremy. I like the Indiana Jones. I have in hardcover. Star Wars stuff in hardcover. Let's see. I mean, I have hardcovers to novelizations to comic books. Like I have the not Long Halloween, No Man's Land, Batman. I have that in hardcover. The Death and Life of Superman is in hardcover. I'll have to go look through all of them, but no telling how many Jaws versions I have, and they're not even novelizations.
Did you forget the Jaws? What was that? That novelization. There was another one that came out.
Cruel Jaws.
Cruel Jaws. Did you get that one?
No, I want to, but I'll have to.
There was a bunch of controversy about that novelization. If I'm not mistaken.
The controversy about the movie.
Well, yeah, it's a ripoff. But anyway, I should get off of here. It's getting late.
Yeah, me too. I'm getting tired.
Yeah.
The wife's probably wondering where I am.
Same.
Oh.
All right. Well, hey, this was fun. It's nice to show up, be back, and we're going to be doing Predator 2 next month.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
listen to it.
sleepaway camp at some point.
Yes, absolutely. That'd be fun. I'm going to do a review on my channel, but I would love to do a full episode.
Of Catwoman.
No, I mean, sure, if you want to.
Adam's doing a single cut, I heard.
He's gonna. That's what I thought. I heard that too.
Yeah.
Adam's single cut of Catwoman next month.
I'm just gonna whip it out there,
My single cut of The Good Son.
The Good Son?
The Macaulay Culkin film where he's just a monstrous child and he keeps blaming Elijah Wood for all
I have that novelization, yeah.
Okay.
Hard pass. You don't have me on for that. I hate that movie. It's the most irritating film ever made.
He'd show up for Catwoman before he'd show up for that.
I would. Yeah. I'm not kidding.
That'll be that'll be one season. We'll do Basic Instinct, Catwoman.
And just because I know legitimately Jeremy likes the character, I want to hear his thoughts on the novelization to the 80s Supergirl movie.
Oh, yeah.
I actually...
And Zardoz.
Oh, yeah. Well, that'll be the final Paper Movies episode ever. We can't...
Oh, well, I've got a copy, so...
I don't.
You will get one.
No, I won't.
Now that I know, happy birthday.
We all just need to do a watch along with Zardoz. Preferably.
I would love to watch that.
Have you never seen it?
Nope.
Oh, I've seen it. That is my favorite movie to watch drinking. Funniest movie ever made. Oh my god, I laughed so hard. I have been watching that movie since high school.
Well, one of these days we'll have to read the book and talk about it.
You guys have fun with that. I guess I'll be reading Catwoman or something.
You'll be there. You'll be there.
You'll be reading. You two will.
You'll be doing both.
You two will. Adam will just stay at your house for a few days. And you two will read it simultaneously, holding the same copy.
You done yet? Yeah. Are you? No. Okay, let's turn a page. That'll be funny.
His wife kicks me out of the house at some point.
No, but we're reading Zardoz. It's a really small novelization, too.
I know. It's probably like 0.4 font.
Is it even 100 pages?
I think it's about like 110. I think.
Okay.
I'd have to look. It's buried way in the back of all my novelizations because I stack them 3 deep.
Yeah.
To get them to all fit on one shelf.
That's what I do. I think mine is 2 deep, but they're all stacked up versus laying sideways.
Yeah, that's what I do too in order to get them to fit. But I'm running out of room for hardcovers, so I'm going to have to put in a bunch of shelves behind my monitors. I think I'm going to put the Dragonlance books up there because they're going to look better than the novelizations, which are just 1,000 different sizes.
Yeah. I hate that. Some of them are like extra tall and some are small.
Yeah, that drives me up a wall. And it's like a Dr. Seuss book. All right, I need to get out of here.
We were writing a song or something.
Yeah. This is Dr. Seuss's rejected book.
Some are short, some are tall. Some of them drive me up a wall.
I gotta leave. Good night.
Get out of here before we fall. Hey, bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.